Around 1 million years ago in the sweeping savannas of Africa, something remarkable was quietly unfolding. Our ancestors, belonging to the species Homo erectus, were beginning to walk upright in a way that transformed their very experience of the world. The evidence for this shift lies in the shape of ancient pelves, now uncovered by scientists, revealing two key changes that allowed steady, energy-efficient bipedal movement. The pelvis expanded and curved into a bowl shape, supporting muscles that balanced the body as it moved forward on two legs. Hands freed to carry tools, infants, or gathered food. This newfound upright posture offered a higher vantage point over the changing landscapes, helping early humans spot threats and opportunities across the vast horizon. Imagine the dawn through their eyes, each step a steady beat in the long march of discovery and adaptation. The world grew wider, stretching from dense forests into open plains, where upright walkers could venture farther with less energy. Alongside this ancient progress, other hominins, our distant relatives with different ways of moving, still shared the terrain, hinting at a diverse and experimental chapter in human evolution. If you're listening to this at night, feel the rhythm of those first footsteps, quiet and deliberate, as they echo softly through the corridors of prehistory, awakening a new kind of creature. As the sun rose on Homo erectus, it also illuminated new possibilities that would ripple forward through time. Now, drifting gently deeper into this upright world, the landscape itself transforms, beckoning us toward the next adventure in our unfolding story. The air is dry and warm, the earth beneath your feet cracked in the familiar patterns of a sun-baked plain. Here, near the shores of Lake Turkana in Kenya, the ancient landscape holds a remarkable secret. Delicate footprints etched into hardened volcanic ash, traces of life that lived more than 1 million years ago. These are the footprints of our distant ancestors, early members of the genus Homo, walking upright across this vast savanna. At the Kubi Fora site, these fossilized impressions offer rare insight into the gait and movement of creatures like Homo habilis and possibly early Homo erectus, species fundamental to our evolutionary story. As your gaze follows the pattern, you begin to sense their deliberate rhythm, one foot placed carefully before the other, confirming their committed bipedalism, a stride shaped by millions of years of adaptation. Groups journeyed together here, as suggested by parallel tracks side by side, hinting at social behavior and shared survival strategies in an often challenging environment. If you're listening to this at night, imagine yourself gently walking alongside these trails, connecting across time with those first upright ancestors. The prints are subtle but profound reminders, pressed softly into stone, that the journey of humankind has been long and interconnected with the Earth's shifting features. As the footprints stretch onward, so too does our story, inviting you to drift deeper into the dawn of human existence. Journey with me to the lush island of Java, where more than 1 million years ago, early humans known today as Homo erectus ventured into new worlds, marking one of the first grand odysseys of our species. In the moist tropics, along winding rivers and dense forests, they lived and moved, a testament to adaptability and quiet resilience weaving through the warm air. Among these early travellers, the remains named Java Man tell us a gentle story. These fossils, uncovered in the early 20th century near Trinil, offer a glimpse into a time when our ancestors stepped beyond Africa's familiar landscapes to explore the vastness of Asia. Java Man carried a sturdy frame, capable of long walks through humid forests where unfamiliar sounds and scents shaped daily survival. Imagine for a moment the rustle of leaves as they navigate riverside trails, selecting plants, observing the flicker of colourful birds, and learning the rhythm of a foreign land. Their tools were simple yet effective, crafted to cut, scrape, or dig, helping them through roads where no human foot had trod before. If you're listening to this at night, picture this ancient forest alive around you, vast and quietly profound. Java Man's story is one of courage redefined, not a rush, but a steady unfolding of life adapting to new climates and terrain. As dawn breaks on our journey, these resilient footsteps lead us further eastward, deeper into the intertwined chapters of human history. Around 1 million years ago, Homo erectus began to shape stone with a new sense of purpose. These were no random flakes, but finely chipped tools known as Acheulean hand axes, symmetrical, balanced, and carefully crafted. Their edges could slice through hides, break bones, or carve wood, transforming survival into a more deliberate art. If you're listening to this at night, imagine holding one of these tools, feeling its smooth heft in your hand, a product not just of instinct but of thoughtful labour. The hand axe was a bridge between mind and matter, a testament to skill developed over countless hours of practice. Each stone was selected for quality, then struck with precision, flaking off shards to shape a sharp yet reliable edge. This wasn't merely about utility. The symmetry of these tools suggests an aesthetic sensibility, a quiet expression of order in a chaotic world. Through this crafting, Homo erectus displayed not only survival instinct but innovation and foresight. These hand axes changed the way early humans hunted, prepared food, and manipulated their environment. No longer creatures purely at the mercy of nature, they sculpted their place within it. The toolmaker's hand whispers across millennia, revealing a careful mind reaching beyond immediate need, imagining new possibilities. As you drift deeper into the folds of time, we move onward to environments shaped by both wild nature and human ingenuity, where early humans forged new ways to live and thrive. The soft crackle of flames, dancing quietly against the darkening sky, was a miraculous new light in the hands of Homo erectus. Around 1 million years ago, these early humans began to harness fire, not as a force of destruction, but as a tender, controlled glow that offered warmth and comfort in the chill of night. The flickering firelight gently pushed back shadows, crafting a sanctuary from prowling predators and cold winds. If you're listening to this at night, imagine sitting beside a small fire, its heat seeped deep into your skin, while smoky embers swirl upwards toward faint stars. This glow reshaped not just survival but the very rhythms of human life. Fire invited people to gather close, to share stories and food in a new way. It softened tough meats and roots through cooking, unlocking nutrients that fueled growing brains and bodies. The mastery of fire also reframed the social landscape. The communal hearth became a shared heart of early society, kindling connections and cooperation under the immense quiet sky. Around these flames, faces illuminated by warm light would reflect the wonder and curiosity stirring in early minds. Archaeological evidence from sites like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa reveals traces of ancient hearths, etched deep in time, whispering of human hands that carefully tended flames. This gentle innovation spread slowly, weaving into daily life and transforming existence step by steady step. As the night deepens, the quiet firelight leads us onward, beyond the glow, toward new chapters in the unfolding story of human evolution. Beneath the vast skies of prehistoric landscapes, early kin found refuge in the gentle embrace of natural caves and rocky shelters. These hollowed spaces, sculpted by wind and water over countless seasons, offered more than mere protection. They became the quiet heart of survival. The smooth, cool stone walls framed flickering shadows cast by small, carefully tended fires. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the soft crackle of embers and the faint scent of smoke mingling with the earth's dampness. Sheltered here, Homo erectus shaped their homes not by grand design, but through subtle, thoughtful touches, arranging stones to block the chill, gathering wood to nourish the warmth. These rudimentary modifications didn't change nature, but rather made it a little gentler, a little safer. Such shelters held more than just physical security. Within their dim depths, families gathered, sharing quiet stories and learning the rhythms of their world. The shelter became a sanctuary from prowling predators and harsh weather, a silent witness to the early dance of human connection. The very stones seemed to absorb the calm, steady pulse of life forging ahead. As dusk softened into night, the early kin rested in these protected spaces, cradled by earth itself. Their shelters whispered the first lessons in dwelling, a slow melody of adaptation and care. Moving softly onward, we step beyond the respite of stone and fire, toward the unfolding journeys shaped by early hands. The soft light of dawn filters through the leaves as Homo erectus begins the day's quiet dance with the land. Their world is one of gentle rhythms, tracking the subtle signs animals leave, picking ripe fruits from low branches, and gathering roots hidden beneath soft earth. This ancient species was far from specializing in just one food source. Their palate was a flexible, evolving symphony of tastes. Lean meat from hunted game, tender shoots, and juicy fruits mingled to shape a diet as varied as the landscapes they roamed. Such variety not only nourished the body, but also fostered a versatility that would echo through human evolution. If you're listening to this at night, Imagine the calm cooperation around a shared meal, silent acknowledgements passed with hands and eyes, the warmth of firelight reflecting off stone tools carefully crafted, sharpened for skinning and cutting. These tools extended their reach, turning the hunt from pursuit to a patient skill. Greater knowledge of animal behavior meant more successful foraging, a fluid interplay between patience and precision. The environment demanded attention and respect, teaching lessons of balance and timing. As days folded into one another, the pulse of survival moved steadily forward, marked by cycles of abundance and quiet scarcity, each step deeper into the unfolding sea of human life. The dance with nature's bounty and her subtle challenges continued, carving paths that would one day lead to new tools, new strategies, and the whispered foundations of community. Around 1 million years ago, Homo erectus roamed a world in motion, shifting from dense, humid forests to wide, drying savannas. Their survival depended not only on strength, but remarkable endurance and adaptability. Their robust, muscular bodies and efficient bipedal gait are clues to long journeys taken across these ever-changing landscapes. Imagine the soft rustling of leaves, the distant calls of animals, and the slow, steady rhythm of footsteps, careful yet purposeful through the varied terrain. If you're listening to this at night, picture those quiet footsteps tracing paths beneath ever-moving skies as climates drifted between rains and droughts. These early humans faced challenges unlike ours today: unpredictable weather, scarce water, and new predators. Yet their bodies, shaped by evolution, carried them forward with quiet resilience, supporting long-distance travel and stamina that many animals could not match. Behavioral adaptations complemented their physical gifts. They may have learned to hunt small game or gather seasonal plants, moving as the environment changed, discovering new sources of food and shelter. The presence of fire, tools, and social cooperation likely helped them endure cold nights and harsh days. Fossils and footprints found in Africa and beyond give us glimpses of this ancient endurance, not frantic but the steady and persistent. In this world shaped by natural rhythms, Homo erectus met change with a calm, steady stride, opening the path for future humans. As we drift deeper into this long story, we begin to glimpse the unbroken chain of life stepping gently forward through ages of transformation. The flickering firelight casts gentle shadows inside a shelter where Homo erectus gather, their voices low and steady with the rhythm of shared experiences. The social circle of these early humans was growing beyond the small family units of the past, adapting to new complexities that shaped their survival. Evidence from archaeological sites hints at cooperation in group hunting and shared food, suggesting bonds not unlike the quiet trust found in modern communities. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the warm embers of a campfire, where stories might have unfolded across generations, quiet exchanges that knotted individuals together in a web of mutual care. The scent of cooked meat mingled with smoke, while the protection of the group softened the ever-present dangers lurking beyond the fire's glow. Though direct signs of leadership are elusive, the patterns of cooperation hint at social structures where roles and responsibilities were shared, fostered by the need to work as one. Communal life for Homo erectus was likely rich with emotional ties and a sense of belonging, foundational for the human story. The care of the young and the sick suggests a deep empathy, a quiet, enduring thread threading their daily struggles into a collective resilience. Their expanding social circle was a gentle but profound step forward, echoing through millennia to us today, a silent legacy in the stillness of night that encourages us to think of connection as the oldest form of survival. And so, the path of human evolution drifts onward, carrying with it the soft murmur of many voices gathered together as one. Beneath vast open skies where the wind softly stirs the leaves, early humans began to shape the delicate threads of communication. Homo erectus, wandering, hunting, and caring for each other, relied on gentle gestures, nodding, pointing, subtle movements of hands, much like the quiet signals exchanged in a shared storybook. These simple signs, combined with shared sounds, soft grunts, calls, and soothing hums, wove the first patterns of connection between minds. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the warm glow of a fire, small flickers, casting shadows, and the low murmur of voices passing from one to another, passing knowledge, promising safety, or marking direction. Communication was vital to survival, helping groups cooperate during hunts and in childcare. Some scientists suggest that the urgent needs of caring for children, who required constant attention and protection, might even have encouraged early speech-like expressions to evolve. Language as we know it was not yet born, but the seed sprouted here, a blend of sound and gesture forming a bridge between isolated individuals into a community. You might picture a young parent guiding a curious child's look towards a ripe berry or a dangerous animal, sharing silent warnings or joyful discoveries, while others understand without words. The first human voices were gentle awakenings, softly exchanging wisdom beneath starlit skies. From these whispers, human connection began to deepen, carrying softly forward into the unfolding story of our ancestors and the dawn of language. Long before modern borders inked the earth, our ancient ancestors embarked on journeys that stretched far beyond the familiar landscapes of their birth. Around 1 million years ago, Homo erectus stepped out of Africa, crossing vast and varied terrains into what we now know as Eurasia. Their paths meandered through open savannas, arid deserts, dense forests and river valleys, each environment presenting unique challenges that required not just strength, but profound ingenuity. These early travelers were guided not by maps, but by subtle whispers of seasons, migrating herds, and changing climates, nature's quiet cues to seek new homes and resources. If you're listening to this at night, imagine tracing the footprints of these pioneers, feeling the steady rhythm of each determined stride against the pulse of an expansive wild world. Their courage was not reckless, but born from necessity and curiosity, venturing into unknown lands where familiar plants and animals transformed into strange new forms. Along their route, fossils and ancient tools, unearthed in places like Dmanisi, Georgia, tell of their survival, remarkably adapted brains and bodies equipped for endurance and discovery. These migrations reflect more than movement. They embody the spirit of exploration embedded deep in our lineage. Each step carried the potential to open ecosystems and opportunities that shaped not only survival, but the future of human evolution. With every mile ventured, Homo erectus expanded the horizons of what it meant to belong, to a landscape, a community, and a shared story written across continents. As we drift further back through history's embrace, we follow these pathways of ancient courage, moving quietly beyond borders into the vastness of prehistory. Beneath a canopy of ancient trees, the soft rustle of leaves blends with the gentle murmurs of a Homo erectus family. The warm glow of daylight filters through, casting dappled patterns on the ground where small hands reach out for comfort. In this quiet scene, signs of early compassion emerge. An injured member carefully tended by others, youngsters cradled with watchful tenderness. These soft acts are more than simple survival. They weave the fabric of social responsibility that binds the group. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the delicate balance of care that sustained lives amid vast prehistoric challenges. The old and the young, vulnerable and worn, found strength not just in their own bodies but within the shared bonds of their community. Archaeological remains hint at this nurturing behaviour. Healed fractures and older adults living well beyond their prime suggest that care extended beyond mere necessity. The delicate task of tending wounds, sharing warmth, or guiding the unsteady steps of a child required empathy, a grace that reached beyond instinct. This early human compassion was a quiet force, encouraging cooperation and trust. It allowed the clan to endure seasons of scarcity and danger, knitting individuals into a supportive whole. As you drift deeper into the past, the gentle story of care reminds us that humanity's roots are entwined with kindness, rising softly beneath the sheltering trees, a timeless whisper of our shared journey forward. The air is cool and still, broken only by the low rustle of leaves and the occasional crack of a twig underfoot. Homo erectus, moving quietly through the twilight of an ancient landscape, knew that danger was never far. Their world brimmed with silent predators, large cats, giant hyenas, perhaps the occasional prehistoric snake, each a shadow lurking beyond the firelight. Vigilance was his survival art. Eyes scanned horizons relentlessly, ears tuned to subtle sounds. Tools crafted with purpose, stone hand axes sharpened at the edges, pointed spears for defense and hunting, were held ready, extensions of their keen senses. These tools were more than implements. They were lifelines, crafted carefully from rock and memory, passed from hand to hand within the group. As dusk deepened, the quiet chorus of a group standing guard emerged. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the soft crackle of embers from a communal fire, the low murmurs of a community linked by trust and shared purpose. The watchful sentinels moved with deliberate calm, safeguarding their camp, ready to raise the alarm or defend against a threatening presence. Living strategies blended adaptation with subtle intuition. Campsites nestled near cliffs or dense thickets for natural protection. Smoke and fire kept steady to deter night prowlers, and practical tools always within reach. Hunting often involved cooperation, a dance of calculated risks, coordinating to surround prey or retreat smoothly when danger tipped the balance. This intimate dance with peril shaped Homo erectus, each day a quiet testament to resilience and community, setting the rhythm for future chapters of human endurance and innovation, ever moving deeper into our shared past. Around 1 million years ago, a new kind of human roamed the vast wilds of Africa. Homo erectus. Their bodies were changing, shaped by the relentless journeys across open landscapes that demanded stamina and grace. Unlike earlier ancestors, they developed broad hips and long legs, perfectly tuned for walking and running long distances with ease. Imagine a body designed not for bursts of speed, but for the patient endurance of a thoughtful explorer. These changes weren't just in bone structure. The pelvis evolved to stabilize the shifting weight as they moved, allowing a smooth stride that conserved energy under Africa's hot sun. Their feet showed arches built to absorb shock, while their narrow, elongated limbs reduced heat exposure. Such subtle adjustments hint at an intimate dance between their anatomy and the challenges of survival, searching for water, following migrating herds, and perhaps tracking prey across miles of open terrain. If you're listening to this at night, picture the calm certainty in each measured step, the rhythmic beat of a journey that could stretch for hours or days. Their endurance running likely opened new possibilities, hunting strategies that relied on tiring prey, exploring unfamiliar territories and forging social bonds around shared journeys and campsites. These physical adaptations whisper of growing capacities, bodies and minds evolving in harmony, weaving the first threads of human determination and curiosity. As we drift further back in time, we follow footprints on ancient Earth, stepping softly into the next chapter of our shared story. In the quiet shadows of ancient stone shelters, subtle traces of early culture begin to emerge, whispering stories beyond mere survival. Around this time, Homo erectus may have first brushed the surface of symbolic thought, tiny gestures like applying colour to stones or personal objects, a gentle marking that could hint at a sense of self or group identity. These quiet acts suggest a mind both curious and reflective, stirring faint echoes of the imagination. Imagine a smooth bone, carefully incised with lines that are no accident but deliberate, or a small mineral pigment ground to powder for use on skin or tools. If you're listening to this at night, picture those faint smudges glowing softly under flickering firelight, silent messages that speak of connection and meaning reaching across the rows of time. These early signs are tentative as they come, yet they speak volumes about an awakening spirit slowly nudging the dawn of human culture. Though the evidence is sparse, it carries the weight of something beyond necessity, the emergence of identity, communication, and perhaps even memory. Such cultural footprints found across diverse sites urge us to consider that the mind's landscape was growing richer and more layered. As we follow these delicate traces further back into prehistory, the story of human thought and expression deepens, inviting us into the unfolding mystery of what it means to be truly human. As twilight silently folds into night, the flickering flames of a communal fire cast long shadows on the gathered faces. The soft crackle of burning wood mingles with the gentle night breeze, drawing groups closer into the gentle circle of warmth and light. It is here, amid the glowing embers, that the earliest tales were whispered, stories born from shared experience and imagination. These moments of gathering served as more than mere respite from the dark. They became the cradle for language, planning, and the passing of knowledge from one generation to the next. If you're listening to this at night, imagine yourself sitting among those early humans, the fire's glow painting your companions' faces with light, your ears attuned to the rhythms of their voices, the rise and fall of their stories. Around this fire, lessons were taught how to hunt to avoid dangers, to read the subtle signs of seasons and animals. Each story, whether factual or imagined, wove the social fabric tighter, strengthening bonds and cementing communal memories. The firelight served as a catalyst for creativity and cooperation, fostering a sense of shared identity in a world that often seemed vast and unpredictable. These fires sparked not only warmth in the cold, but formed the origins of human culture where planning and storytelling intertwined under the stars. From these flickering hearths, a vast journey of communication and understanding drifted forward, carrying the sparks of imagination ever onward into the depths of history. The quiet traces of past hardships linger in ancient bones, whispering stories of resilience. Homo erectus, who thrived for nearly 2 million years, often bore marks of injury or illness, some quite severe. These silent scars reveal moments when survival was uncertain, yet healing still occurred. Around 1 million years ago, fossils found across Africa and Asia hint at the resilience required to endure wounds without modern medicine. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the slow, steady patience needed by someone nursing a broken arm or surviving a deep infection. Without antibiotics or bandages, such injuries could easily become fatal. Yet healed bones suggest that others in the group offered care and support, sharing warmth and food as the injured member recovered. This emerging care ethic speaks softly about our ancestors' compassion, a thread gently weaving human connection through time. Some evidence comes from skulls with healed lesions or teeth worn unevenly because of pain, implying the individual lived long enough to adjust despite difficulties. These were not solitary struggles. The quiet presence of community likely provided a subtle strength beyond the physical. Through seasons of plenty and scarcity, they faced unexpected hardships imposed by the environment or predators, yet persisted with steady endurance. Each healed scar tells of a story of survival, resilience quietly growing alongside intelligence and culture. As the world shifted around them, these early humans found a way forward, their shared care a tender foundation that would support generations to come. Slowly, their story drifts into the softer whispers of deeper prehistory. Imagine a quiet forest clearing, branches bending gently in a mild breeze. Here, long ago, Homo erectus might have knelt by the soil, selecting slender twigs or sturdy bones fallen from creatures past. While stone tools have etched their mark on history, evidence invites us to consider that these early humans shaped more than just rocks. Wood and bone, with their unique textures, offered versatility, tools for digging, scraping, or perhaps even probing hidden places. Shaping wood requires different skill, knowing how to carve, snap, and sharpen without fracturing the living fibers within. Bone, too, carved and polished, could hold prying edges or points that pierced without the brittle shatter of stone. If you're listening to this at night, imagine hands moving deliberately, fingers tracing the grain as branches take on new form. The faint aroma of fresh-cut wood mingles with earth and smoke as firelight dances across carefully crafted implements. This quiet creativity expressed not only survival but invention, a subtle spark that would illuminate human ingenuity for millennia to come. Such tools would allow Homo erectus to interact with their environment in profound ways, digging for tubers, splitting tough hides, or fashioning weapons better suited to varied tasks. This multi-material toolkit speaks to adaptability, a response to shifting climates and landscapes. As you drift deeper into the saga of ancient innovation, the story of these hands shaping wood and bone softly unfolds, whispering the earliest chapters of human mastery over nature. Nearly 2 million years ago, the soft rustle of grasslands underfoot witnessed a quiet revolution, the rise of Homo erectus, walking tall and steady on 2 legs. The upright walk was more than a posture. It was a new way to see the world, to explore vast landscapes with calm endurance and measured steps. Their long legs and narrow hips carried them farther than any ancestor before, through savannas and open woodlands where sources of water and food shifted with the seasons. If you're listening to this at night, imagine yourself moving beside them, the steady rhythm of footsteps blending into the gentle breeze, the muted calls of distant birds as the sun begins its slow descent. Homo erectus also carried something invisible yet profound, the spark of ingenuity. Stone tools, carefully shaped and refined, assisted in processing food and crafting simple shelters. These tools weren't sharp edges alone, but the marks of a thoughtful mind, a beginning of culture and cooperation. Social bonds quietly deepened in camps marked by shared warmth and protection, where knowledge passed through patient observation and quiet communication. The endurance of Homo erectus was as much a physical gift as a social one, shaping a path forward for all human species. Their legacy is embedded in every steady step you take today. As we drift gently through the long corridors of time, we feel those early footsteps beneath us. The foundation of human resilience and curiosity that continues to guide us onward. Around 1 million years ago, when the world was a patchwork of wide savannas and sparse forests, a remarkable creature took measured, steady steps that would echo through time. This was Homo erectus, an early human ancestor who walked upright in a way that paved the path for us all. Their every footfall was a quiet act of courage, bridging the wild past with our present. If you're listening to this at night, imagine the slow, calm rhythm of their movement across ancient lands, each step deliberate, each breath steady, carrying the warmth of dawn and dusk alike. Through their folded hands came the spark of innovation, from crafting simple tools to mastering fire's gentle glow, helping them thrive in vast, unfamiliar landscapes. These early walkers faced challenges without hurry or panic, adapting quietly to shifting climates and unseen dangers with a resilience that still speaks to us today. Inhale deeply, sensing the invisible thread connecting your breath to theirs, soft, enduring. Their journey does not merely belong to the distant past, it breathes within you. From those first upright steps to your silent, life-giving breaths now, a lullaby of endurance and discovery wraps around our shared human story. The world they touched continues to unfold beneath your feet, a gentle reminder that your existence is a tender gift shaped by countless quiet journeys before. As we drift deeper into this remarkable human saga, the steps taken so long ago soften into the present moment, inviting a peaceful rest with the pulse of ancient life still beating within.